Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Graves. This series of 3 videos is about how your body works. Your body is an actual metabolic machine. There are many similarities between your body and that of an automobile. Reviewing and discussing these similarities can help you with your diet. This segment is about the fuel for our automobile machine. Your body is an actual metabolic machine. It behaves exactly like a machine and does what it is programmed to do. It has parts for motion, your muscles. Your body has sensors to interact with the environment and has sensors to tell you about the energy level, like the gas gauge of a car. These sensors are very sophisticated and also tell our brain about the quality and the type of our energy source. Hunger and satiety are very different sensations and are controlled by the brain, but the sensors are in the bowels. Hunger is your body's sense of need to put food into the stomach. Satiety is a sensation felt by the brain, but the sensors are in the bowels. Satiety is your body's sense of need to put food into the small bowel. The sensor for satiety is in the small bowel, about 22 feet downstream from the stomach. In order to be optimally not hungry and to be most satisfied, we have to get some food to both of these sensors. Your body also has a computer guidance system, your brain. Understanding these parts and how they work together to drive us to eat can help us diet and determine our own future. There are many determinants of what, when, and how much we choose to eat. Sensory factors such as palatability, as well as family and social influences are important. We also make conscious decisions about our food selections based on health concerns. But the most important driving force that determines if we eat or stop eating is our sense of hunger and fullness. These are signals that we receive from body sensors that travel to and stimulate our brain's appetite center. The signals from these sensors inform the brain what is the condition of our nutrition. Our brain reports back to our consciousness and gives us a sensation of hunger versus no hunger, and satiated versus non-satiated. The signal for being hungry comes from a stomach sensor and hormone called ghrelin. This hormone is released when the stomach is empty. This hormone then stimulates the brain to indicate that the body is lacking food. Circulating ghrelin levels are increased by fasting and fall after a meal. We are driven to start a feeding cycle by high ghrelin levels. Our brains stop demanding that we eat when there's food in the stomach and the ghrelin levels go down. The signal for satiation comes when hormones are released about 22 feet down at the very end of the small intestine. These hormones respond to food by signaling the brain that we are satiated. There is another satiety hormone called leptin. This is released from fat cells and tells our brain how much fat mass we are carrying on our body. After eating a meal, the hunger is resolved first and occurs when there is food in the stomach. Satiety occurs later when the food travels 22 feet down the intestine to the satiety center. The practical implication for dieting is to have some soup first. It will turn off the hunger signal. A fiber soup like bean or potato soup works well. Its consistency and the fiber content is optimum for a rapid effect. It will go down to the satiety center and turn these off, but it will take at least a half an hour. The dietary implication is to eat slowly and wait a half an hour between your soup and your meal. Then you want the hunger signal to turn off and stay in this position as long as possible. This requires your meal to stay in the stomach as long as possible. As a practical diet tip, skip all of the liquids after a meal. This keeps your food in the stomach longer. A large, bulky meal with fiber also takes longer to empty from the stomach and will keep the hunger signal in the off position longer. You can achieve this effect by adding vegetables, such as a large helping of broccoli to your meal. Another signal also affects the feeling of satiety. A hormone called leptin is released from fat cells and tells the brain how much fat mass you have. As a complicating factor in our desire to lose weight, a high triglyceride blocks this signal to the brain. When the triglycerides go up, our body thinks it is too skinny. A high fructose corn syrup in our diet increases triglycerides and makes dieting harder. As a practical tip, avoid high fructose corn syrup. If you would like to further discuss weight loss strategies, I suggest an appointment with your primary care physician. You and your doctor can work together to design the best weight loss program for your individual needs. Losing weight is a hard project. I suggest that you become familiar with all the principles of the obesity management pyramid before you even begin the project. I also suggest that you investigate communication tools with your primary care physician. Some doctors use electronic communication like MyChart. Other doctors prefer to use a health coach or a dietitian.